I, Nelson Mandela,
and the Ealdormen of Wessex are watching. The day of reckoning will come.
Picture yourself born into the humblest of circumstances, in a tiny village tucked away from the rest of the world. You spend your days tilling the earth or tending to livestock, your hands roughened by work, your spirit undeterred by the mundanity of your existence. You are just like any other villager, with one striking difference. Within your heart, a spark flickers, a spark that longs to burst into an all-consuming flame. This spark, this innate desire to rise above and beyond, is what separates ordinary individuals from extraordinary leaders. Now, let's dive into the chronicles of history, the annals filled with tales of great kings and conquerors, leaders who forever etched their names into the bedrock of human civilization. Their beginnings were often modest, but their ends, monumental. As we move forward, think about the leaders who've shaped the world as we know it, from Alexander the Great, who dreamt of a world united under his rule, to Nelson Mandela, who envisioned an era free from the shackles of apartheid. These weren't just wishful thinkers, but visionaries who dared to make their dreams a reality. But how did they transform their dreams into reality? What traits did they possess that allowed them to rise from obscurity and etch their names into the annals of history? The answer to these questions isn't as elusive as one might believe. In fact, the secrets to their greatness can be distilled into 7 defining traits. Traits that, when adopted and refined, can lead anyone from obscurity to greatness, from being a mere follower to a revered leader. These are traits I hope to emulate and wish for you to adopt. The first trait, the cornerstone of all great leadership, is vision. Vision is the ability to see beyond the present, beyond the obvious, and into the realm of possibilities. It's not just about charting a path for oneself. It's about envisioning a roadmap for everyone who chooses to follow you. Consider Alexander the Great, a young prince from a relatively small kingdom in Macedonia. Alexander wasn't content with ruling over Macedonia alone. Instead, he saw a world united under a single banner, an empire where cultural and geographical boundaries were rendered meaningless. This was a time when such a vision seemed impossible, yet Alexander didn't just dream. He dared to make his dream a reality. His vision fueled his actions, driving him to embark on a series of conquests that eventually extended his empire from Greece to Egypt, and even as far as India. His unyielding belief in his vision inspired his men to follow him into battle, even against seemingly insurmountable odds. The result? A small kingdom in Macedonia transformed into one of the most extensive empires the world has ever seen. But it wasn't just about territorial conquests for Alexander. He also sought to merge the cultures of the conquered lands with that of Greece, thereby creating a melting pot of ideas, philosophies, and traditions. This was a vision far ahead of its time, one that sought to unite people not just through conquest, but also through cultural exchange and understanding. In the grand scheme of things, Alexander was a mere mortal, just like any of us. What set him apart was his ability to see beyond the present and envision a future that others could not. His vision was his compass, guiding him through the tumultuous seas of power struggles, warfare, and cultural clashes. This is the power of vision. It's about seeing not just what is, but what could be. It's about transcending the present and daring to dream of a future that's better, grander, and most importantly, it's about having the courage to turn that vision into reality. Remember, a leader without a vision is like a ship without a compass, destined to drift aimlessly in the sea of uncertainty. The second trait, as crucial as vision, is courage. It's a trait that stands as a bulwark against fear, against uncertainty, and against the seemingly insurmountable obstacles that life throws our way. Courage isn't just about physical bravery. It's about mental and emotional fortitude. It's about having the audacity to dream big and the tenacity to turn those dreams into reality. Think of Julius Caesar, one of the most renowned leaders of ancient Rome. When Caesar was ordered by the Roman Senate to disband his army and return home from Gaul, he faced a critical decision: obey the Senate and risk his political career, or march towards Rome and plunge the city into a civil war. The Rubicon River marked the point of no return. To cross it would be to directly challenge the authority of the Senate, and yet Caesar chose to cross the Rubicon, reportedly uttering the words, The die is cast. This single act of defiance set in motion a series of events that ultimately led to the end of the Roman Republic and the rise of the Roman Empire with Caesar at its helm. This was courage in its rawest form. It was the courage to defy the status quo, to challenge the existing power structures, and to risk everything for a vision greater than oneself. But Caesar's courage wasn't just about defiance, it was also about resilience. Despite numerous challenges and setbacks, he never wavered from his goal. His courage served as a beacon, inspiring his followers and instilling in them a belief in his vision. But let's not forget, courage also involves confronting one's own fears and insecurities. It's about acknowledging one's weaknesses, yet refusing to be defined by them. It's about standing up for one's beliefs, even when they're unpopular or met with resistance. In the end, courage is about embracing the uncertain, the uncomfortable, and the unknown. It's about choosing the difficult path because it leads towards a vision that's worth fighting for. And that's precisely what the greatest leaders and conquerors throughout history have done. They've faced their fears, they've challenged the status quo, and they've had the courage to lead even when the odds were stacked against them. It's this courage, this unshakable determination, that has immortalized them in the annals of history. The third trait that defines great leaders is empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Now, it may seem a bit counterintuitive to discuss empathy in the context of conquerors and kings. After all, these are individuals who've led armies into battle, who've made decisions that have resulted in the loss of countless lives. Where does empathy fit into this picture? Consider Cyrus the Great, founder of the Persian Empire, often remembered as a benevolent ruler who valued the lives and cultures of those he conquered. When Cyrus conquered Babylon, he did something unprecedented. Instead of enslaving the people or forcing them to adopt Persian customs, he respected their culture and beliefs, and even contributed to the restoration of their temples. This wasn't just a strategic move to keep his new subjects content. It was an act of empathy, a recognition of the shared humanity between the conqueror and the conquered. Empathy allows leaders to connect with those they lead on a deeper level. It fosters trust, loyalty, and mutual understanding, creating a bond that goes beyond the transactional. It's about acknowledging the fears, hopes, and dreams of your followers and incorporating them into your vision. Empathy also involves acknowledging one's own shortcomings. Great leaders are not infallible, and they're not afraid to admit it. They're willing to seek forgiveness from their followers, from their enemies, even from their gods. This humility, this capacity for self-reflection, is a sign of deep empathy. It's about understanding that leadership isn't about asserting superiority, but about serving the needs of the people you lead. So, as we continue this journey through the annals of history, remember this: the greatest leaders were not just strategists, warriors, or visionaries. They were also empathetic individuals who cared for the well-being of their people. They understood that leadership, at its core, is about people. And it's this deep, heartfelt understanding that allowed them to lead with compassion, with respect, and with an unyielding commitment to the betterment of their people. The fourth trait that shapes great leadership is communication. It is the bridge that connects a leader's vision to the hearts and minds of those they lead. It's not just about conveying ideas, it's about inspiring, motivating, and at times, consoling. It's about creating a narrative that resonates deeply with those who hear it, compelling them to believe, to dream, and to act. Reflect upon the life of Martin Luther King Jr., a leader whose eloquence and oratory skills played a crucial role in the American civil rights movement. His "I Have a Dream" speech wasn't just a display of his command over language. It was a testament to his ability to touch the souls of millions with his words. His vision of a world where people will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character, wasn't just an idea. It was a call to action, a plea for justice, and a beacon of hope for a better future. But effective communication isn't just about speaking. It's equally about listening. It's about understanding the fears, the aspirations, and the concerns of your followers. It's about acknowledging their contributions, addressing their concerns, and involving them in the decision-making process. It's about creating a dialogue, not a monologue. Great leaders also understand that communication is not a one-size-fits-all approach. They adapt their style based on their audience, their context, and their goal. Whether it's rallying their troops before a critical battle, negotiating terms with their adversaries, or consoling their people during times of hardship, they know how to tailor their message to achieve the desired impact. In essence, communication is the lifeblood of leadership. Without it, even the most compelling vision can fall on deaf ears. But with it, a leader can inspire a single individual, a community, even an entire nation to strive towards a common goal. It's this power to influence, to motivate, and to unify that makes communication an indispensable trait of great leadership. And it's this trait that has allowed history's greatest leaders to leave a lasting impact on the world. The fifth trait that distinguishes great leaders is adaptability. It's an understanding that change is the only constant in life, and the ability to adjust one's approach in the face of that change. It's about being flexible in your strategies, yet unwavering in your vision. Take, for instance, Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon, a military genius and a great leader, was known for his remarkable adaptability. He faced dynamic, unpredictable, and often hostile conditions, whether it was the scorching deserts of Egypt or the bitter cold of Russia. Yet, he managed to adapt his strategies based on the terrain, the climate, the morale of his troops, and the tactics of his enemies. Napoleon didn't cling to rigid plans or preconceived notions. Instead, he embraced change. He saw it not as an obstacle, but also the way and an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to innovate. His adaptability allowed him to seize opportunities that others overlooked and to overcome challenges that others deemed insurmountable. But adaptability isn't just about adjusting to external conditions. It's also about recognizing and addressing one's own shortcomings. It's about learning from your mistakes and not letting ego or pride hinder your growth. It's about being open to new ideas, new perspectives, and new ways of doing things. Great leaders understand that adaptability is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to their resilience. They don't shy away from change. They embrace it. They don't fear failure. They learn from it. They don't seek comfort in the familiar. They venture into the unknown, armed with an unwavering vision and an adaptable mindset. The sixth defining trait of great leaders is humility. It might seem paradoxical that those who rose to such extraordinary heights of power, who commanded the loyalty of legions, who shaped the course of history, were also individuals who embodied humility. But when we delve deeper into their stories, we find that it is their humility that served as the bedrock of their leadership. Consider Mahatma Gandhi, the leader of the Indian National Congress, who spearheaded India's struggle for independence. Despite being a figure of enormous influence, Gandhi lived a life of simplicity. He wore simple, homespun clothes. He traveled in third-class train compartments. He performed manual labor. He led by example, demonstrating that true leadership is about serving others, not exalting oneself. Humility is about recognizing and accepting our flaws, our limitations, and our mistakes. It's about understanding that we don't have all the answers and that there's always room for growth and learning. It's about being open to feedback, to criticism, to new ideas. It's about seeing oneself as part of a larger whole, not above it. King David of the Bible, one of history's most revered kings, exemplified humility in his leadership. Despite his many victories, he never lost sight of his faults. He accepted his mistakes, sought forgiveness, and strived to learn from them. His humility earned him the respect of his followers, and his legacy continues to inspire leaders across the globe. Humility also tempers power. It prevents leaders from succumbing to arrogance, complacency, or a sense of invincibility. It keeps them grounded, reminding them of their duty to their family and community, to their vision, and to themselves. In the grand tapestry of leadership, humility might seem like a subtle thread, yet it is this thread that often holds the entire fabric together. In the age of flexing on social media, humility is the key to being relatable. The seventh and final trait that carves out the silhouette of a great leader is perseverance. It's the grit, the tenacity, the unwavering determination that keeps a leader going in the face of adversity. It's the relentless pursuit of a vision, even when the odds are stacked against them. Think of Sir Winston Churchill, the British Prime Minister during the darkest hours of World War II. Churchill faced seemingly insurmountable challenges, a ruthless enemy, a nation on the brink of despair, and widespread criticism from his own colleagues. Yet, he remained resolute. He rallied his nation with his indomitable spirit and his rousing speeches. He never lost faith in their collective ability to overcome adversity. Never give in, never give in, never, 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 he urged his countrymen. And they didn't. Perseverance is not about never facing defeat. It's about not letting defeat have the final say. It's about learning from failure, picking oneself up, and pushing forward with renewed vigor. It's about understanding that the path to success is often paved with setbacks, obstacles, and challenges. Consider the life of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Lincoln faced countless failures and rejections in his life. He lost multiple elections. He faced personal tragedy. He suffered from bouts of depression, yet he persevered. He held firm to his convictions and his vision for a United States free of slavery. His perseverance paid off when he was elected president and succeeded in abolishing slavery, leaving a mark on the nation's history. Perseverance is the fuel that keeps the flame of leadership burning, even in the harshest winds of adversity. It's what allows leaders to forge ahead, to conquer new frontiers, and to inspire others with their unwavering commitment to their vision. It's this relentless perseverance that has defined the greatest leaders throughout history, and it is this perseverance that will define the great leaders of tomorrow. Now that we've explored the traits that define great leaders, let's dive into the practical steps you can take to cultivate these traits within yourself. This isn't about mimicking someone else's leadership style, but rather about recognizing your own potential and making the conscious effort to nurture it. The first step is self-awareness. Spend time reflecting on your strengths and weaknesses. Acknowledge your mistakes and learn from them. Understand your values and what drives you. Self-awareness forms the foundation of all leadership growth. It's about being honest with yourself, even when the truth is uncomfortable. Next, seek knowledge and new experiences. Read about leaders from different eras, cultures, and fields. Understand their challenges, their strategies, and their mindsets. Engage in diverse experiences that take you out of your comfort zone. New experiences challenge your preconceived notions, broaden your perspective, and stimulate growth. Then, practice empathy. Start by listening more and talking less. Try to understand people's feelings, their perspectives, their struggles. Empathy is not about agreeing with everyone, it's about understanding them. This understanding fosters connection, trust, and influence. Work on your communication skills. Be clear and concise in your messaging. Learn to articulate your ideas in a way that resonates with your audience. And remember, communication is a two-way street. Listen to feedback, questions, and concerns. Engage in dialogue, not monologues. Embrace change and cultivate adaptability. Welcome new ideas and perspectives. Be open to modifying your strategies based on new information or changes in the environment. Remember, adaptability is not about being directionless. It's about being flexible in your journey towards your vision. Practice humility. Seek feedback and criticism, not just praise. Recognize the contributions of others. Remember, leadership is not about being superior. It's about serving a purpose greater than oneself. Finally, cultivate perseverance. Set clear, meaningful goals and commit to them. Understand that setbacks and failures are part of the journey. Don't be disheartened by them. Learn from them. Perseverance is not about being immune to failure. It's about refusing to let failure deter you from your path. Remember, these steps are not quick fixes or shortcuts. Developing leadership traits is a lifelong journey of growth and learning. But rest assured, it's a journey worth embarking on. Because at the end of the day, great leadership isn't just about power or prestige. It's also about making a positive difference in the lives of others. Great leaders are not born, they are made. They are forged in the crucible of life's challenges, tempered by their experiences and honed by their resolve. They emerge not from a life of comfort and ease, but from the gritty, raw, and often unforgiving forge of trial and tribulation. The 7 traits we discussed today: vision, courage, empathy, communication, adaptability, humility, and perseverance, aren't prerequisites of leadership, but rather its outcomes. They are the products of a conscious and continuous effort to learn, to grow, and to better oneself. So, as we part ways today, I want to leave you with this thought. Don't aspire to be a great leader for the sake of power or prestige. Aspire to be a great leader because of the positive difference you can make in the lives of others. Strive not to be a person of success, but rather a person of value. Every single one of us has the potential to be a great leader. It's not about being flawless. It's about being authentic. It's not about being invincible. It's about being resilient. Now, it's your turn. Embrace your journey. Nurture your potential. Be great.